This is a quick story from childhood. I'm going to tell you the reason why I've always disliked Harry Potter. I've always had a bit of a chip on my shoulder when it came to Harry Potter. However, I think it's time for me to come out and explain why I've always disliked the Harry Potter franchise. Do I find the characters stupid? No. Do I find the world not immersive enough? No. Do I have something against British people? I was just a young man. I was like, I don't know, I was like 10 years old. I remember that was around the time Goblet of Fire came out. I think I saw the first two movies. I think the one after that was Goblet of Fire. I saw Goblet of Fire, and then I figured, you know, maybe I should read it. And maybe from then on, I could have read the whole franchise and become a very literate child. I could have grown an interest in books at an earlier age. However, my elementary school, it had a library. My class and we went to the library to check out books. I'm not gonna lie, I was the kind of kid who would just go to the Garfield section immediately and check out whatever Garfield books they had available, which, by the way, were always gross because they were the most popular books and they just had the most shit on them. It was disgusting. But this time, instead of looking at Garfield, I went to the Harry Potter section, and lo and behold, they had the Goblet of Fire. So I was like, sick. You know, I've seen the movie. I wonder how the book lines up. You know, this will be a fun read. You know, I could see how my boy, my son, my child. I think that was in the movie, right? I think Harry, like, he jumps out of the water, something like a dolphin. I remember thinking that was cool as a kid. I go to the front desk of the library with my book in hand, which at the time for a child, that's like a pretty big book. I was quite proud of myself, and felt like I was elevating myself, literally. In my mind, I thought I was pushing myself intellectually by trying to read a Harry Potter book because they're so goddamn big. I hand it to the librarian at the front desk. All she's supposed to do is open the front, put my little card in, hit the stamp, and then just be gone with me. That's how it's always been. That's how it should have been. But for some reason, the librarian decides to go past the very front page where my library card is, where she's supposed to stamp. She hasn't stamped it yet. I was waiting for the stamp. I didn't get a stamp. She turns to the first page, and I shit you not, she instead says, this is a pretty big book. Are you sure you're gonna read all of this? This is my first time doing something like this. I said, oh, I don't know, I think. And she's like, okay, how about this? And this woman asks me to read the first full page out loud in front of her. I remember how much text was on that page. It was like half of the page, 2 to 3 paragraphs. First of all, this is an insane request of an adult to a small child. I'm in the 5th grade. I just start reading the first page of the Goblet of Fire aloud to this woman. And I swear to God, when we would go to the library, we had limited library time. So we would all check out our books at the end. And I remember there were kids behind me, like waiting in line to check their books out. Like I said, all it's supposed to be is a stamp, next kid, stamp, next kid. Just to reiterate, I'm like 10 years old. I'm not doing well. There's like a little bit of pressure, like outside pressure on me. There's a line. I was already an anxious kid. I swear to God, I still remember like my chest feeling hot from having to do this in front of everyone. And I guess I did not read the first page of the Goblet of Fire fast enough. And she was like, are you sure you're gonna be able to finish this book? It's pretty long. Maybe you should just check out something else. And then she closes the book and she takes it and she puts it behind the desk. I have no book to take back from the library. I just left the library empty-handed. So ever since then, ever since I was gatekept from the Harry Potter community by this, in retrospect, an insane like, why would you do that? Even if a kid didn't know how to read, I would respect that he's trying to read a bigger book than he's used to. I don't know if she was like trying to save it for her kid or something and was doing whatever it took to prevent anyone else from checking it out. But ever since then, much like Harry Potter, I was scarred. And if you grew up in like, you know, from like 2008 to 2013, everyone loved Harry Potter. Everyone was crazy about it. Me? No, I saw the first 2 movies and then I saw the last 2 movies because friends wanted to go see it. In between at that time, I could have been a part of it all. But instead, I was scarred emotionally and didn't want anything to do with Harry Potter since then. My only win, my only victory from all of this was J.K. Rowling is like super transphobic. So now I can just tell people I haven't read Harry Potter because, you know, I can't get behind that shit. As a 10-year-old, I just sensed it, you know? So yeah, that is my tale of Harry Potter and the Gatekeeping Librarian. Thank you.